So we finally got a good look at the UNLA Air Jordan 4s. But is it really the shoe that we wanted? What's up everybody, I'm Seth Fowler, and today on Weekly Heat we talk about upcoming Nike Dunks, the possibility of the off-white Air Jordan 4 Breds finally releasing, and we've got some new leaked images of the UNLA Air Jordan 4s. All that and more to come in today's video, so make sure to hit that subscribe button down below if you haven't yet, and let's jump right into it. So first up, we've actually got a US sneakers app release date for the Air Jordan 1 High Co.JP. This shoe is stupid limited. There are only 2,020 pairs made for the year 2020, and they've actually already released a bunch of them over in Tokyo. So for this US release, we're not even getting 2,000 pairs. We're probably getting like 500 to 1,000, which is like an insanely small number when you think about the millions of people in the United States. There's just really no way you're gonna have a chance to grab this shoe. The colorway of the shoe is officially called neutral gray, and the reason it's called that is because the upper of the shoe comes in primarily a matte gray and also a metallic silver. While I don't love this release visually, it's not a bad looking shoe, it just looks like every other GR sneaker to ever release. The cool thing about this shoe is the packaging that it comes in. Apparently the Air Jordan 1 Co.JP Tokyo comes in a metal briefcase, which is really cool. And I guess if you're really into having a shoe that literally no one else will have, this is a good release to go for. However, you probably won't have a chance to be able to grab it. But with all that being said, if you actually like the way the sneaker looks, or you're just trying to make a couple grand on the resale market, the shoe releases on the sneakers app on August 7th. Next up, we've got some really great images of what's now known as the Nike Dunk Low Lemon Wash. I talked about this shoe a couple weeks ago in Weekly Heat when images of this shoe first leaked, and I gotta be honest, seeing the shoe actually on feet makes it look way better. I never said the shoe looked bad, but leaked images of a shoe never really do it justice. When you see the shoe in good lighting on someone's feet, you really know how good the sneaker actually looks. And I've got to say, this is probably going to be one of the most popular dunk releases this year. As earlier reported, it does look like this shoe is made up of recycled materials, however, it's not part of the Space Hippie collection. The upper of the shoe comes in what is most likely recycled mismatched denim, and I think it looks really great. The paneling on the upper comes in blues, maroons, and light grays, and each one of the panels feature different printing details throughout. And one of the prints on the upper actually make this shoe kind of look like it's a tie-dye sneaker. It's not, because if you look at the print, it's exactly the same pattern on every portion that it's on, but it does kind of give that effect. My favorite details though are the yellow hits on the Nike swoosh, laces, and outsole. And speaking of the outsole, it also looks like there's some little speckling going on, which I can only assume is Nike grind. Even though the printing pattern on the upper is crazy and mismatched, I love the way it looks, and I really feel like that's what gives the shoe its charm. And whether this shoe is recycled or not, it will definitely be one of the hottest releases of the year, and you should have your chance to grab a pair for yourself in late 2020. Sole Heat on Feet has leaked some information that there might actually be a retro coming of the ugly Duckling Nike Dunk Low pack from 2001. This pack was originally released exclusively in Japan and came in two different colorways, the ceramic and veneer colorway. It definitely makes sense that Nike would be retroing these shoes in late 2020 or early 2021 because of the popularity of dunks right now. And I'm here for it. I'm down with either one of these colorways. The first colorway comes with orange and black suede on the upper with the green Nike swoosh, and the second colorway comes in green and brown suede accented by a purple Nike swoosh. If you are fiending for these pairs and you can't wait until the end of 2020 or early 2021, you can grab pairs from 2001 at Flight Club and StockX and places like that, but just keep in mind these shoes are almost 20 years old, so you probably can't even wear them. In weird news, it looks like Nike is dropping a Space Hippie slide. This Space Hippie shoe is apparently called the Nike Asana Slide, and as of right now has no release date. The colorway of the Asana Slide looks very similar to the first Nike Space Hippie release, and it comes in blues and oranges with Nike grind throughout. But for me, the most interesting detail is the lacing system on the lateral side of the shoe. I've never seen laces on slides before, and it seems unbelievably unnecessary. To be honest, Nike's probably just using it as a cool design detail, and I guess it fits in better with the Space Hippie pack because they all have that similar lacing system, but it just kind of seems unnecessary, and if the whole idea behind this pack is creating something that's sustainable, adding extra material onto a shoe just for a design detail seems like something that's kind of wasteful. Maybe I'm thinking too far into it. I don't mind the way that it looks. In fact, it looks better than probably any slide that I could design, but it's not exactly something that I ever really want to pick up. However, in my opinion, the most interesting detail on this slide is the Crater Foam cushioning. Crater Foam is made up of leftover Zoom X that's all compressed together, and in this case, it's tinted orange. On the Asana slide, the foam rests on top of the footbed and actually goes all the way through to the outsole of the sneaker. So I'm actually kind of interested how comfortable this shoe will be, so if you ever grab a pair for yourself, shoot me a tweet on Twitter at RealSethFowler and let me know. It looks like Nike is finally getting in on the 8-bit goodness with the brand new Nike Blazer Mid 77 Have a Good Game. This video gaming inspired sneaker features a pixelated black Nike swoosh on a white leather upper. In addition to that, you've got a multicolor painted outsole as well as 8-bit inspired patches on the heel. Not only that, but the actual name of the colorway Have a Good Game is printed on the lateral side of the heel, which is not really a touch that I feel like is necessary. But by far the most interesting detail on this shoe is the glow-in-the-dark Just Do It and Nike swoosh pattern printed across the upper. From what I can tell from the pictures, in normal light, you can't see this detail at all, but once you charge the shoe with some UV light and you put it in the dark, the entire look of the sneaker changes. It's actually a pretty cool concept, and I kind of wish they added more hidden details like this on more of their sneakers. If you are a gamer and you want to rep that fact on your sneaker, the Nike Blazer Mid 77 Have a Good Game is released sometime this fall. Seemingly out of nowhere, Concepts and New Balance has announced a brand new New Balance 327 collaboration called Cape. The colorway of this shoe is apparently called Cape and is inspired by cranberry vodka cocktails. I gotta be honest with you, I don't get this one. I don't understand it. I mean, I understand the inspiration. They're basing it off Cape Cod, which is known for their cranberry bogs, so I get that, but it's kind of a weird inspiration. This New Balance 327 comes in a bright red upper, which I think looks incredible, accented by a semi-translucent blue outsole. And of course, just like your cocktails, you've got a little hint of lime in the midsole. Right now, the 327 is one of New Balance's most popular silhouettes, and not only that, it's one of its least expensive. I actually just ordered a pair which should be coming in the next week or so expect a review as soon as I grab that pair. Just to clarify, not of the Cape colorway, of some sort of gray and darker gray colorway, which to be fair, isn't as nice. The Concepts New Balance 327 Cape releases exclusively through Concepts on August 7th, but then has a wider release date on August 13th. And this is a pair that I will definitely be going for. Hopefully I can grab one, we'll just have to wait and see. Next up, we've got a very exciting first signature sneaker from a friend of mine, Mache. The shoe is called the Mache Runner Centralia and is honestly one of the coolest debut sneakers I've ever seen. I think Mache killed it. I think it's an incredible sneaker. The Mache Runner Centralia was obviously designed by Mache himself and comes with a Vibram midsole and outsole. The upper of the Runner Centralia features really beautiful suede multicolor paneling, and I think it all came together so nicely. The inspiration behind the colorway is apparently a deserted town in Pennsylvania that has a graffiti-covered highway, and I've got to say it translated extremely well to this shoe. If you have no idea who I'm talking about, first of all, you're in a very small minority because everyone knows who Mache is, but he is one of the best customizers to ever be. He's just like the best customizer ever. When I started customizing shoes back in 2013, Mache was the customizer that I always looked up to. And I think the first time that I met him in person was at SneakerCon New York 2015. Before all the YouTubers started coming to SneakerCon, I had my own customizer booth, and it was just it was like meeting a hero. It was dope. And since then we've stayed in contact. He's an awesome guy, and you guys should definitely support his projects because he does incredible work. Also, even if you don't know his name, you've seen his customs on people like LeBron James, on a bunch of different NFL players. You've seen his customs everywhere. So huge props to Mache for creating such an incredible first sneaker, and I hope he keeps going because this shoe is dope and I will definitely be buying a pair for myself if they don't sell out before I get there. After that, we've got some new information and leaked images of the new Halloween Air Force One release. As we've come to expect over the last couple years, Nike has been releasing skeleton Air Force Ones around Halloween. The first year we had a white Air Force One, last year we had a black Air Force One, and this year it looks like we're getting a brilliant orange Air Force One. The concept and overall design of the shoe has remained relatively the same. You've got this skeleton foot printed on the side of your shoe, and it actually matches up with the foot inside the shoe. It's actually a pretty cool look. However, in my opinion, it's always been kind of a sneaker that you can only wear around Halloween, and I feel like this orange colorway is even more of that. Like, I can never really see myself wearing this shoe in March or something like that. It's just not a shoe that you can wear any other month other than October. Maybe that's just me, maybe I'm just a hater, I don't know, I just don't love the sneaker, but if you like it, go for it. As I mentioned before, the entire upper of the shoe comes in bright orange and features a black skeleton x-ray print on the lateral side. Not only that, the shoe features a milky translucent outsole. You know what, the more I look at the shoe, the more I don't like it. And I know there's people out there who love it, but it's not for me. Also, I'm wondering what they're gonna do next year. Are they gonna do like a purple one? Are they gonna retro the white one? I feel like they've used all the Halloween colors. If you wanna grab a pair of the Nike Air Force One Low Skeletons in brilliant orange, they released this October for 130 bucks. Next up, we've got some information on an upcoming YEEZY 350 V2 in the Abez colorway. Surprise, it looks like every other 350 V2. I feel like Kanye and Adidas just can't make me happy when it comes to Yeezys. They either release colorways that are too crazy, or they release colorways that look exactly the same as 4 other colorways. It just doesn't really have a middle ground. I guess I only really like Yeezys when it's a new silhouette or a colorway that's kind of bright. Like, I love the foam runners, I love the 700 V3s. That's pretty much the only releases this year that I've been into. I don't know. There's nothing wrong with the Abez colorway. It comes in a very standard tan, white, and gray. It looks a lot like the Statics. It looks a lot like the Sesames. It looks a lot like pretty much every other 350 V2 this year. I know there's tons of shoes that I'm just forgetting, but I don't know. It's just more the same. The one sort of difference between the Abez colorway and the Static colorway is that although the upper still comes in white and gray, the midsole and laces come in a light tan. But that's pretty much it. There is also a reflective colorway coming out, which I'm sure most of you expected because most 350 V2s now have a reflective variant, and it looks fine. Nothing wrong with it. If you've somehow missed out on any of the previous 350 V2 releases and you want a pair that looks a lot like a lot of those releases, you can pick up the Abez colorway sometime this November. In some more weird news, we've got the Air Jordan 1 High Switch. This is an Air Jordan 1 that turns from an Air Jordan 1 High into an Air Jordan 1 Low. Why you'd want to do that? I don't know. This shoe comes with a zipper in a similar place to the UNLA Jordan 1 stitching, and I feel like Jordan Brand is really trying to go off that UNLA hype, although they've kind of done it to death at this point. Apparently the concept behind this shoe is being able to zip off the top of your Air Jordan 1 and make it a low top. Again, why? The Air Jordan 1 High Switch, which I hope to God is not the actual name, comes in a gray and darker gray color scheme with a blue zipper around the midfoot and also a blue outsole. To be fair, I do like the fact that Jordan Brand is experimenting, and I like the fact that they're trying something new, but there are some experiments that should just stay on the cutting room floor. Like, this is never a shoe that should release. I don't know, maybe I'm missing the point. Maybe there's some crazy use case that I don't know anything about. Maybe it's a shoe that's gonna do crazy well, I don't know, but it's not something that I think needs to be made. It's just so weird. At least if you're gonna do something like this, make the colorway dope. Like, don't make it just an all gray Air Jordan 1. We've seen a million of those. I know the zipper is sort of differentiated from other Air Jordan 1s, but I would be much more willing to buy this shoe if it came in like a Chicago colorway or a Bred colorway, because then at least I would have a Bred or Chicago Air Jordan 1. With this, it's like, I've got a gray Jordan 1 with a blue line through the side of it. Not my thing. Another kind of weird detail that I'm just noticing from looking at the other picture of this shoe, it looks like the tongue, or at least the top part of the tongue, also comes off the shoe. So maybe it's like a button or something that you pop off. But again, another weird touch. I guess it makes sense. You wouldn't want an Air Jordan 1 High tongue and an Air Jordan 1 Low. That might look weird. Well, I guess it's already looking weird. Apparently the Air Jordan 1 High/Low switch is releasing sometime in 2021, but I wouldn't even be mad if they pushed it back all the way to never. Moving on, DJ Clark Kent just posted really great images of the UNLA Air Jordan 4. Also, in kind of crazy personal news, DJ Clark Kent actually hit us up to grab a pair of the We Are Underdog Seth Fowler Origins, and he posted them on his Instagram, which for me is like the craziest cosign in the world. Huge shout out to DJ Clark Kent for that. That was like a dream come true. That was crazy. But getting into the actual news, he did post a picture of the UNLA Air Jordan 4s. It's a nice shoe, and they followed the same sort of design scheme from the original Air Jordan 1 UNLAs. In fact, I am sure that this is going to be one of the craziest releases of the year, and I love the fact that they carried over that same design language to this shoe. But I don't know whether it's the mesh on the toe or the mesh around the ankle or whatever it is, but there's something about it that just doesn't work for me. Actually, I know what it is. I wish they had made this shoe out of more premium materials. The Air Jordan 1 was made out of leathers and suedes. This shoe has a lot of mesh on it, and Jordan 4s don't traditionally have mesh in those areas. It just seems a little bit too playful of a collaboration, and I get what they were going for, but I don't know, I guess it's a personal problem. This is my problem, it's not your guys' problem. The upper of the UNLA Air Jordan 4s comes in primarily black with white netting on the midfoot and on the tongue. In addition to that, they've also got some blue mesh around the top of the ankle. The lace eyelets come in translucent TPUs, and the tongue comes in sort of a cream white color, which actually seems like a very similar color and material to the UNLA Air Jordan 1s. And then rounding off the shoe, you've got an all cream or sail midsole and outsole, which really matches up with the tongue nicely. Also, from what I can tell from DJ Clark Kent's image, it actually looks like there's a picture of the box, which has Michael Jordan printed across the top, which I think is super cool, and it comes in sort of a cream, sail, and blue color. As of right now, there is no official release date for the UNLA Air Jordan 4s, but because such a good image of the shoe has come out with its packaging, I would expect that this shoe is going to drop soon. And then finally, rounding off today's video, because we don't have any weekend release updates since there's really nothing releasing, the Off-White Air Jordan 4 Bred actually looks like it's going to be releasing later this year. As I'm sure you noticed, the women's Off-White Air Jordan 4s were incredibly popular. So popular, in fact, that they're reselling right now for $1,500. I tried to grab a pair on stream, which you guys can actually watch the replay of, but spoiler alert, I didn't get them. And I was really bummed because I love the way that sneaker looked. However, I really love the way that the Bred Air Jordan 4s look, and an off-white Air Jordan 4 Bred is fire. As some of you may have caught from my Chicago Complex vlog last year, Virgil Abloh actually had an exhibit at the MCA and showed off a sample of the off-white Bred Air Jordan 4s. And most likely, the shoe that's going to be releasing will look very similar to that shoe. As you probably would have expected, the off-white Air Jordan 4s come in a black suede upper with a dark gray mesh around the toe. In addition to that, the shoe also comes with dark gray netting as well as semi-translucent lace eyelets and black laces. The midsole of the shoe remains relatively the same as the standard Bred Air Jordan 4s. The only real difference is that the white panel around the heel is aged and looks more like a sail panel. And then rounding off the shoe, like every other pair of off-white Nikes, the shoe features Air branding over the Air unit as well as the off-white paragraph on the medial side of the shoe. As of right now, the off-white Air Jordan 4s are expected to release sometime in the fall, and I can guarantee you this will be the biggest off-white release of this year. It'll be way bigger than the previous off-white Air Jordan 4s. If you're trying to grab a pair of off-whites this year, this is the one to grab. And unfortunately, because I know myself, this is a pair I'm probably going to pay resale for. I hate myself for doing it, but it's probably going to happen. But with that, we wrap up Weekly Heat for this week. Now I would love to know all of your thoughts on the stories that we talked about in today's video, so let me know in the comment section down below. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't yet, and I'll see you all in the next one.